IVM.
Hi, I'm Zarina Poonawalla, your peak performance coach, life coach, emotional intelligence practitioner, and NLP practitioner. I'm also the founder of Abzo Expertise Unique, and my organization constantly aims at building leaders across continents. After having worked with so many dynamic business honchos, entrepreneurs, startups, CEOs, management gurus, parents, and student communities worldwide, I am convinced that every individual has unleashed potential, and all we really need to do is realize it. Watch the magic unfold, enhance quality of life, relationships, and professions. On my show, be ready for some riveting conversations with inspirational people, snippets, stories, and much more. So here I am on this exceptional journey to find empowerment and inspiration anywhere I can. Come join me on this breathtaking path of self-realization, potential maximization, positivity, and most of all, embrace your inner power. You are on your way to empowering yourselves. Welcome to the Empowering Series with Zarina Poonawalla.
Are you in a toxic relationship? Do you deny the signs of being in a toxic relationship? Chances are that once in a lifetime, you have either experienced a toxic relationship or seen one around you. What is a toxic relationship really? In 1995, a California-based communication consultant and psychologist apparently coined the term in her book, Toxic People. She defines a toxic relationship as any relationship between people who don't support each other, where there's conflict and one seeks to undermine the other, where there's competition, where there's disrespect, and a lack of cohesiveness. Let me begin by breaking a stereotype for you first. A toxic relationship does not necessarily have to be a romantic one with your spouse or partner. It could also be with a friend, a boss, a co-worker, a sibling, a parent. There are plenty of permutation combinations to it. But do you have the slightest clue what it does to you and how it slowly diminishes your entire being? I'm going to say this from a lot of professional experience. If you are trying to change the person and make them see your point of view, here are the chances. There's a possibility of saving grace if early signs are noted, acknowledged, and worked upon. But if it's been long enough with no traces of change, then such complexities are beyond repair. It is likely that the relationship will need to come to its natural end. All the more, you have to realize that a relationship of such intensity and such toxicity will only destroy you more and more if you choose to stay in it. All right, let's deep dive into what a toxic relationship really looks like. The relationship brings you more sorrow than joy. There is an emptiness and sadness that surrounds you all the time. You feel lonely and disconnected. You don't look forward to being with this person. In fact, you fear that a conversation will turn into an argument, and that leaves you feeling hollow most of the times. You find ways to avoid the oppressive partner in the relationship. You don't miss your partner. You feel liberated when they're not around. You breathe a sigh of relief in their absence and in fact prefer it that way. Constantly have to prioritize the other person. The question cage. A toxic partner is always needy, wants to be prioritized all the time, and doesn't appreciate if you smile, laugh, or remotely enjoy yourself with anyone else. It's what I like to call the question cage, where you are constantly bombarded with set-up questions like, you prefer being with your friends over me, or you enjoy with your friends but not with me. You seem to have such a good laugh with your manager. How come you always tell me office is stressful? Constantly looking for loopholes and picking on something you said, promised, did, or didn't do. That is a question cage. Walking on eggshells around this person. If this person puts you in the above said question cage often, that will leave you questioning yourself all the time. Every time you make a mistake or say something wrong or forget to do something, the reactions are too strong. Something like, you're too stupid, you're too wrong, you're so dumb. What is wrong with you? You can't even do this one thing straight. Now, this may leave you constantly anxious about what you said or did and how reactive the partner or individual is going to get towards you. You will either find yourself stressed, frightened, apologetic, or crying. They can't take no for an answer, especially from you. You fear denying this person's request. Oh, you can't do this much for me? What are you so busy doing? You have never said no to me before. You don't love me anymore. How dare you say that? What do you mean by you can't? A healthy, loving partner will respect that you're not going to agree with everything they say or do. If you're only accepted when you're saying yes, then it's probably time to say no to this relationship. All the effort, love, compromise, all of it comes from you. A relationship is not a one-person job. It takes two. Shouldering the relationship constantly can be lonely and exhausting. Don't be delusional if you are the only one putting the effort and think you can make things better. If you try hard enough, you work hard enough, say enough, do enough. Because if you are doing it all, but doing it all alone, it's not enough. It will never be. Very passive-aggressive behavior. Passive-aggressive behavior is a common factor and an indirect action of control. Responses like, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, cool, whatever. You go, have a good time. I'll stay here all by myself. All of this is manipulating your behavior to suit their needs. So be able to identify how often that happens and how uncomfortable you get, but cannot say or do anything about it. This one is very important. Holding you emotionally hostage. Constant blame games. Mudslinging. Skeletons from the closet. Talking about your past mistakes. Emotionally blackmailing. Lying or even cheating. Making you doubt yourself and feel emotionally vulnerable. Always justifying insecurities and jealousies with emotional explanations. This will slowly kill even the healthiest relationship and keep the guilty person small. This can be very emotionally draining and leave you feeling incapable and rather broken. Lastly, physical and verbal abuse, even mental and emotional abuse. Need I say further? No reason is reason enough. Whatever your excuse for being in such a relationship, whether it be children or love, dependence, empathy, financial instability, whatever your reason is not reason enough in the long run. Some relationships nurture and grow, while others become hollow and meaningless with time. And the latter devours you of your self-esteem, self-confidence, happiness and growth. But in the end, no matter what you are told or what you are made to believe, this is what you must know and must believe. You deserve to be in a healthy relationship, and healthy relationships do exist. Be safe, be well, be empowered.
If you liked this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. It's been an absolutely incredible week on the network. We had so many great guests, so many great episodes. Advertising is dead. We had Faye D'Souza on. Varun took a break for 4 weeks, but what a bang he's back with. Siddharth Deshmukh celebrates the 100th episode of The Traveling Professor. It is an amazing show which I cannot say enough good things about. Please do listen to it. And a different Siddharth on the network, Siddharth Bhatia. He's just been like absolutely guest after guest, right? This week, Zoya Akhtar talking about Gully Boy. I couldn't imagine a more interesting conversation. Ragini Kumar is on 2 different episodes this week. She is on Cyrus Says and she is on Edges and Sledges, both in anticipation of her new show, Zindagi Diaries. Do check out her appearance on both of those shows and her new show as well. Tanvi and Shloko, the millennial athlete, had a phenomenal episode with Dinesh Karthik and Abhishek Nair. Absolutely riveting stuff, talking about mentorship in many different ways. Definitely do give that a listen. And finally, I have a request to all of you. We have our listener survey going out this week. Every year we send out a listener survey at the end of the year. We're doing it again this year. And we would really appreciate your help in letting us know a little bit more about yourself. Our advertisers are really keen to find out who is listening to us and more about them. Anything that you could do is kept anonymously, and we would really appreciate your help in this. And to sweeten the pot just a little bit, we'll be giving a randomly selected group of participants in the survey some IBM swag. Last year we gave out coffee mugs. What we're going to give out this year is still a surprise. So please do help us out. Would really appreciate that. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
Namaskar, dear Bandhu. My name is Ashish Vidyarthi. These are truly challenging times, and in these times, we need hope. Do take time to listen to my podcast, Begin the Journey. Available on IVM Podcasts, website, app, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, there is hope because there's one life and we are alive.